Hey everyone, I don't know if there's like a particular method or rule that you have to follow to get on here and give a testimony. Um, but if y'all don't mind, I'm just going to be myself and speak from my heart. And I know I'm quirky and this whole thing is quirky and it's okay because I'm just a kid at heart. But I want to talk to you about a miracle that happened for me, a healing that I received at Mantle Pop-Up in Raleigh uh, the beginning of this year. I didn't plan on going. I had attended a mantle in 2024 and I received enough instruction then for 10 years. And so when they announced that they were going to be doing this mantle pop up, I just was like, great, but I knew that I wasn't going to be attending because mantle isn't a conference. Although some people might choose to treat it that way and might end up having a conference like experience, but I just want to tell you from experience with Mantle, it's not a conference. Mantle is a clarion call from God. Mantle is a divine appointment. And so I'm like, God, I mean, what is this about? Why am I coming back to Mantle again? Anyway, I followed the instruction. God put me on a fast beforehand for 30 days, and I took communion every day. And there were a few things that I was petitioning God for, and one of them was miraculous healing. I needed a creative miracle because I was missing cartilage, right, in one of my legs, and I also was suffering from this blood pressure related issue, and I was petitioning God for a resolution for that, and that thing was scaring me. I was living kind of scared almost every day. I had faith. I've received numerous miracles from God before. I've received 6 to 8 miracles from God in my life. But I'm telling you, and I'm not afraid to say it, I was scared every day. And I was standing on the word. I was believing and trusting God. I was having faith, but this thing, it frightened me, man. Seriously. But anyway, when the second day afternoon session was concluding, Apostle Prophet Joshua Giles gave this altar call, and God had put it on his heart to give an altar call, but the things that he was calling people up for wasn't what was happening with me. And so I remember just staying in my seat and saying, you know what, I'm going to reach out for whatever healing you're doing at that altar. And I stayed in my seat and I reached out for whatever healing that God was just administering at that altar at that time. And after we dispersed from that afternoon session, when I went out to my vehicle, I just noticed that the things that I was suffering with and how I felt in my body even, I didn't feel anymore. I didn't know what had just happened. I didn't even really anticipate that anything was going to happen. To be quite honest, I had an expectation, of course, but I didn't know at that time, at that moment, that God had done something until I tried to go back to my vehicle and I wasn't huffing and puffing and I wasn't having my heart race and, I wasn't having the symptoms that I had even walking into the arena to go into Mantle. And so I didn't want to say anything to anybody until I was sure. And I knew that I had an upcoming blood pressure check on the 12th. And so the day that it was checked at 10 o'clock on the 12th, my blood pressure had gone down to 126/85. And this girl was shouting, essentially. You couldn't shut me up from, really just telling that nurse about how my God was a healer. And I just remember whispering right before the blood pressure check that this is the day that my God will show you, devil, that you are a liar like he always does. I was like, God, this is the day that you do that. I know it. And so anyway, they did that. And for the first time in a while, the lady was talking to me about if your blood pressure becomes too low, let us know, do this, do that. And I was just on cloud nine. I was just so happy because, God had healed me, and I totally didn't expect that was one of the things that he wanted to do by calling me to Mantle. And so I just came on here today to really encourage you. I'm not going to try to give you a prescription for what God is going to do in your life or how he's going to do it, because nobody knows that, man. God does whatever he wants to do whenever he wants to do it. But I am here to tell you that if God said that he's going to heal you, you can believe God. just have faith, just trust him, and don't beat yourself up even when your faith wanes and when you feel like your faith is weak. I know many days that I just like got on YouTube and found all the faith like related content I could find, all the testimonies from other people that had talked about how God had healed them to carry me, man. But you can do this, and you don't have to be beating yourself up or be afraid because you're scared every day, because I certainly was, even though I know God is a healer, and it's the first way I ever met God, and it's what he's always done for me. So I just want to encourage you to just hold on to him, because when God gives you his word, when he says I'm going to do something, that he says in an absolute authority, man. I mean, an absolute certainty, an absolute assurance. It is absolute, and that means that it can't go any other way. I want you to really hear me. When God gives you something and he says, I'm going to do it, it is absolute, and it cannot go any other way. He is going to do it. He cannot fail. Failure is not in God. It is not in him when he is giving you his word. So please just be encouraged today. Keep holding on, keep trusting, keep believing God. He will do what he said he will do. I love you guys. And thank you for just taking a moment to be with me and just to listen to this.